try my mic out in the wind. I've had my mic and I had my drone for over a year now, and I've only tried each of them once. I haven't really had the time. So it's time to do that this year and see how they work. Here I am, day 2. Still no sign of the otters out. But there was a wood rat, and I missed that off the camera. It's much windier today, but it's still beautiful weather. Lots of clouds. Expecting snow. We'll see how that pans out. It's not going to be much, and it won't last for long. There are otter coming here, sunning themselves. You can see right there where they're climbing the bank and sitting on the very top of the dam. You can see that there's also beaver in here. It's just so calm and beautiful, and the warm sun is so wonderful today. Just going to take in the scenes, and hopefully something will show, and if it doesn't, it's still been enjoyable. Way over, you can see the beaver dam house. Welcome to another episode of Nature Inspired. It's been lightly snowing since late yesterday evening. Just enough to cover the tracks of the animals and your snowshoe trails slightly. Nothing serious. It's still going on, but I thought it would be a good time to test out my Dutch oven that I've cleaned up. I haven't used it since I moved quite some time ago. You'll recall from my videos. I think one good try would be to do up a rack of ribs today. That'll really help oil up the Dutch oven even more. There are lots of birds out today. Haven't seen any otters, day 4. They're keeping themselves quite elusive from me, so hopefully eventually I'll be able to get some nice video of those. There are some signs of spring, but it's intermittent. I think after this it will be warming up quite considerably in the days 6 to 9, which is wonderful. I see some open water already. So let's get to doing some prep work, and while we're waiting on those coals, and see what transpires here on Nature Inspired by Connie. And there you have it, folks. Couldn't ask for any better. A pileated woodpecker just flew over. It's over there in the top of the pine tree. I can guarantee you by the time I switch to my zoom lens, it will disappear. It's over there in the top. I'm going to see if I can switch to my zoom lens and see what happens. I just flew over the forest road after calling out, so I'm not going to get that close up. I didn't quite have my lens ready because I was still getting my gear out. But hopefully some of that sound has come out on the tape for us. They'll be calling for mates. It is that time of year. So I just stoked my fire some more because I want to make sure we have lots of extra coals. And then now we're going to line that oven with some onions. Now for some potatoes. So here I have some potatoes to dice up and throw in the bottom to help act like some type of pivot in there for my ribs. And they'll soak up the juices. It'd be tasty if I monitor the heat correctly. So that makes a nice platform in there. Now what I have to do is get those ribs prepped, as in spices and rub, to lay them in there. So, got some gloves here to make it easier. And I'm going to be trying something a little different for me and putting a little bit of honey mustard on before I add the pork rub spice. I don't want to overdo it too much. Oh, it smells really good. I probably shouldn't touch it too much. But now I can see where the spices are missing. I want that coated good. So that can be flipped over in there. I'm going to add some more honey mustard to the other side. Let's give that a rub around. Of course, someone's going to get down on my veggies, but that's okay. I like spices, as you can tell. I'm not going to rub that too much. It looks like it's all around there. Good. Now I'm going to use some, I'm going to open this up here. I was going to go with the Bold Original barbecue sauce, but I think today I'm going to try some of this new hickory smoke. Some of that hickory. It's that Old West hickory, and it's very, very flavorful. It doesn't have that aftertaste that you get sometimes from barbecue sauces. Let's pull my sleeve back there, because we don't want to be eating my sleeve. And we can have a look at those. Now we're going to see how they come out. I've been missing those pileated woodpecker shots. Now that I have the zoom lens. Not the traditional way to do your Dutch oven. Just keeping the coals going over to the side and rotating it. Just want to not use charcoal. I don't want to be dependent on the store-bought things, so I'm using wood instead. I'll just keep rotating the coals as they get cool. So while that's brewing, I'll just keep rotating it. Make sure it doesn't stay hot on one side too long. Continues to snow. I'll clean up my mess that I've made so far, and we'll get back to you when that is nearing completion. Don't want to leave the lid off of that too long. Let all the heat out, but it's a brewing. Add a little beer to the bottom of that to help with the steaming process and the flavor. Yeah, it smells good too. The Shih Tzu Traveler. She is 14 years old now. Hey, say hello to everybody, Scruffy. Her hair grows so fast, I gotta keep grooming her every day. Ribs are about ready to have a good check on here. So those are falling off the bone ready. Yummy. They are going to be delicious.